Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy President Chip, and today we're going to be looking over some of the big games from Week 1 for Saturday. Obviously, LSU versus USC is on tonight. We'll be streaming that game. But anyway, let's go right into it. Notre Dame for 6 a.m. The first we're going to be looking at 23-13. Notre Dame was able to go into Texas A&M's, go on the road, beat them by 10 points, double digits, and defensively, they did very, very good. That secondary balled out. Of course, don't look too much into it because that Texas A&M receiving core is not that good. At least not now. They didn't show much, and they have inexperienced players there. So we'll have to see how they perform throughout the season. But right now, I'm not going to take any credit from the secondary's performance, but we do have to look at who they played, and they're gonna have to be tested more for me to consider them, elite, but they definitely are good. They're good. I don't know if they're at that elite tier yet, but they're definitely good and will cause major teams if they play them like the Georgia, Alabamas, and Texases. They will cause them issues. I think that secondary is very, very good. That front seven is all right. Nothing too special, but that front seven did very, very good as well. And of course, they got 2 interceptions. So that secondary, performed. They balled out. And in terms of the offense, Notre Dame, that offense woke up in the second half. They were able to do 17 points. The first half, very, very slow, but they did the changes they needed to do. And so overall for Notre Dame, this was very, very good for them because this was one of the big games they needed to win this season if they want to make a playoff run and be taken seriously. They did it, and they won it by double digits. I know it was 10 points, but it's double digits nonetheless, and it is very impressive because every year, at least for me, every time I back Notre Dame to win big games like this, they lose, and they won it. So congratulations to Notre Dame. A lot of people had them losing this game. The underdogs won this game, and it is a very exciting time to be an Irish fan. Hopefully, they're able to keep this consistent, keep performances good against weaker teams, and when they play big teams like this, and they play in big games, they're able to perform. And we'll have to see. But yeah, overall, Texas A&M underwhelming. They won't be that much different from last season. But the Irish, they could be a problem. Watch out. And of course, the next game. Of course, my Georgia Bulldogs were able to put up a rout. They just dominated the Clemson Tigers. And of course, we had that slow first half, but the defense through all 4 quarters performed amazingly. Shut down the Clemson Tiger offense first, second, and fourth quarter, and only allowed 3 points in the third. So the defense amazing, did spectacular. And now I understand the Clemson offense was trash. They have one good play on that team, on that offense, in my opinion, and that's the rare running back, Maffa. But besides that, Clemson's offense is nothing. This will not be the test that I thought. This was not the test for the defense that I thought Clemson was going to be. I had us winning 35-24, but you know what? Defense did better than I expected them to. But the Clemson Tiger offense also did not perform as good as I thought they would. So it was a mixture of a few things. But I'm not going to take any credit for my team. My defense stood strong. They did very, very well today, and I am very pleased with how they did. Because there are times where we let weaker teams, weaker than the Clemson offense, put up more points than this. So I think that is very, very promising in that sense. And Malachi Starks, that interception was amazing, was wonderful. It was wonderful. And that secondary, besides Everett, all I'm going to say with Everett is please replace him with Robinson because I'm tired of seeing Everett on the field. Bring in the young man because this man is trash. Everett's like a junior now. He needs to get out of here. He needs to be benched. He can be a backup because Robinson, freshman starter, we know what freshmen can do. By the way, we'll talk about Nate Frazier in a second, but but yeah, in terms of what the Georgia's defense performance stat wise, they only allowed 142 passing yards. Klubnik is not a very good QB, 18 for 29, but he was shut down at 142 yards overall. The defense did amazing, and Clemson's rushing was only 47 yards. Again, Maffa, even though he ran 59 yards for 16 carries, I mean, we still didn't let him go anywhere, even though he was the biggest weapon for them. Our front seven still held strong. Mikael Williams, hopefully he'll be okay. No word on him yet, but Walker, Munden, etc. Wilson. We got some good linebackers and good defensive linemen. So I'm feeling very good about our front seven. I don't think this will be the front seven of 2 years ago, but it'll be a very good front seven. It'll cause very good teams we play, like Texas, like Alabama, Ole Miss. It'll cause them issues, and I'm very excited to see how they perform against them, especially a team like Alabama with not the strongest offensive line. We could see a lot of sacks, a lot of pressure on Milrow, and the secondary is very, very good. I trust them a lot this season. They're actually better. They looked better today than I thought they would, and I think they might be better than I thought they would as well. Got some good young guys back there, and if we're able to start them versus Everett, get Everett out of there. And yeah, I'm just very optimistic about our defense. Very optimistic from this performance. And again, Clemson offense not that good, but give credit where credit is due. And I think this right here with the offense, Georgia offense, this is where we deserve more credit because that Clemson front seven is very, very good. As we saw in the first half when we tried to run up the middle, we played to their strengths, and we only got 6 points out of it. So we got our shit together. All right. We got things under control, and we decided to spread the offense, play to our strengths and their weakness, which is their secondary, and we put up 28 points. We flamed them. That is very, very good. That is a very good sign that we can, make adjustments and play to our strengths. But we need to do that sooner because last season, when it took us a whole half, we lost the most important game of the year. This season, we need to be able to do that from first quarter to fourth quarter, not third and fourth. We need to do that all 4 quarters. Game is 60 minutes, not 30. So we need to be able to sustain these type of games and put them away and not fall back and not fall, have a 10-point deficit against a team like Bama again. Because it'll be very hard to come back, as we saw last season. So we need to be able to get faster starts. Same thing from last season that popped up right now. But hopefully we learn faster than last season. Because otherwise we're going to be in for rude awakening against Kentucky and Alabama. But that is the only main criticism was the slow start from the offense. Everything else is just all positives. When Bell went down, London Humphrey stepped up. We didn't try and play an injured Dylan Bell. It didn't look like he could play anyway, so we used Humphrey's next man up. He stepped up. He was able to do good. His 2 receptions, you know what? They both led to touchdowns. One was a touchdown. Kobe Young, the transfer from Miami, he scored a touchdown. Oscar Delp was very quiet, but you know what? We got quiet games. He's not, he's not what Brock Bowers was, so. And Lucky, Lucky does not, Lucky had a lot more action than Oscar Dell. But yeah, we'll just have to see. It's just one game. And Nate Frazier. Let's talk about the freshman Nate Frazier. The running back. Branson Robinson, Roger Robinson, they didn't do very much, but put in Nate Frazier. He put on a show. 11 carries, 83 yards, and 1 touchdown in the limited time he got. And Cash Jones, too. He had some very good blocking plays. And when he ran. He did good. Cash Jones, Frazier stepping up when Etienne was suspended and the Robinsons were not performing. They stepped up and they did the job well. So big shout out to them. And last but not least, Carson Beck. He put on a decent performance today too. A shout out to our wide receivers. I'm tired of them being called mid by other fan bases. They are good. I feel very good about our offense. Offensive line is a veteran offensive line. They are going to protect back to the season. And yeah, I'm very excited about the offense. Just get faster starts. Please, not what we saw last year with the first half. And yeah, so overall, feeling very good about my dogs. Very good performance today. A few mistakes that we need to wrap up, but this week one, we're going to see mistakes. Got some very good depth, as we saw. Got some young players stepping up. Robinson, the defense. We got a linebacker. Forgot his name. He stepped up a little bit too towards the end. And we got Humphreys, the sophomore. We got we got Frazier who stepped up, the freshman. And yeah, so overall, good performance. Fix up the mistakes. And yeah, go Dogs. And just to finish off the video here, obviously Alabama took care of business, Texas took care of business, Ole Miss took care of business. And just a quick shout out, Miami versus Florida. Miami just put them down. Miami could be an issue this season. They could. They most definitely will make the playoffs in my opinion, and they could be a problem. They could make it into the quarter semifinals. They are a dangerous team. You need to watch out for them. And Oregon versus Idaho. This is a game that stood out to me because Oregon struggled at home against Idaho. Potato Merchants only beat them by 10 points at home. Number 3 team in the country? I don't think so. You cannot be struggling at Idaho at home. I know it's week 1, but hey, watch out for Oregon. They could not be as good as some people thought, and I don't think they will be good against big teams. I think they'll lose some very big games. The big games that I thought they would win this season. Michigan struggled at first against Fresno State, but they were able to get the job done. 30-10, 20-point win. Not as big as it should have been against Fresno State at home once again, but Michigan got the job done. Michigan is not as strong as they were, but we already knew that. And overall, everything's good. 61-39. Arizona, Jesus. Arizona's offense woke up. I watched that game late at night, but very slow start for Arizona. But overall, it's been a good performances by most of the big teams. A few slow, Michigan and Oregon, some slow starts there, but hopefully they'll be able to get the week 1 jigs out of their system. And yes, that is week 1 in conclusion. A lot of expected things happened. Notre Dame was the only main upset. I chose them to win, so they make me look smart for once. And of course, tonight we have LSU versus USC. I pick LSU to win this game, but we'll see. And yeah, that's it for week 1. And I'm gonna say it one more time: Go Dogs!